Oh, welcome back to Digi Bros.
We're back. We're playing Splatoon.
We're back in every color but black.
I've got my ink everywhere. I splatted it.
Hey Vic,
Yeah?
what's your favorite video game?
What?
What's your favorite video game?
What is my favorite video game? I feel like the world is a vampire and everything's a lie.
Set to Dre Yay, Secret
Yes.
Desires, something else. What's your favorite video
I
game?
feel like it might be Dark Souls. Maybe Zelda. One of the Zeldas,
Which
like
Zelda?
Twilight Princess.
Think it still holds up as your favorite game?
Yeah. Well, one of them. I guess Fantasy Star Online.
You did play the Twilight Princess pretty recently, didn't you?
I've played it like 3 or 4 times. I usually play like once a year or so. Or once every 2 years, probably.
I feel like I saw you playing it not too long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't very long ago. And I was still like, yep, this is sweet. And I was like, Connor, why don't you fucking play it? And you never played it.
I did for
You
like
barely fucking
an hour,
played it.
2 hours, maybe 3.
It was like, oh,
I beat the first dungeon again.
Yep, and you just bitched about it the whole time.
The first dungeon sucks. It's just that it's obnoxious about the hand holding and that it takes so long to get there. Where I was like almost 4 hours into the game by the time I beat the first dungeon.
Yes.
Which is an amount of time in which I could have been an adult in Ocarina of Time.
I mean, it doesn't take that much amount of time if you know what you're fucking doing.
But I did. That was the point I
in
made.
Ocarina of Time, like, it takes a lot of time if you don't know what you're doing. And obviously you didn't know what you were doing if it took you 4 fucking hours.
But my point was
it does not take me 4 hours to get through that. It takes me like half an hour to get to that fucking temple. Ah.
Well,
bollocks.
In any case, I haven't gotten back to it yet. I'd like to eventually, but
yes.
You know, we'll see how things go. I've got some other games lined up, and I haven't played those either.
Because you don't even like video games.
I currently really want to get back into JRPGs, but I feel like I've wanted that for my whole life.
Play Tales of Xillia.
I don't want to play Tales games.
And I got Tales of Xillia too.
I've realized that Tales games aren't very good.
Just watching me play Tales of Xillia 2 is not a good representation. Because I was just, the more I played, I'm like, Tales of Xillia 1 was definitely better than this and like had a lot more effort put into it.
Just in general though, like Tales games are generic anime.
Yeah.
And I don't like the reason
JRPGs are generic anime.
But that's not really true.
I guess if you're playing Persona, maybe, I don't know.
A lot of them are not generic anime. Like when I was a kid, Tales of Symphonia was my favorite game because it was anime.
Yes.
Like the reason I got so into it is that it was completely and totally an anime. It had the same kind of characters that I could easily connect with because I was 14 and they made sense to me. You know, it had a dumb, easy plot that to me was totally new because I had not seen enough anime to know that it was like the most generic plot ever. Yes. You know, like everything
there was a plot twist.
Everything felt fresh and new to me, and the characters were my favorite characters ever.
Fuck. Splat.
And I obsessed over that game for like a year. And then, you know, as an adult, I bought the HD collection of both Tales of Symphonia games for PS3, thinking like this will be a nostalgia thing, and like maybe I'll have like. And what actually inspired me to do it was a video that what's his name, fucking Satchel like a Drake, Satchel like a bag Drakes, Satchel Drakes, Satchbag, an analyst on YouTube, friend of JonTron. It was a very hipstery analytical guy. I don't like all of his videos because sometimes he starts talking about shit and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he's done some great videos on some of his favorite games, and one of them was Chrono Cross, and he talked, which is like the sequel to Chrono Trigger that's nothing like Chrono Trigger. But he talks a lot about like all the shit that he loves about that game and how it's like this, you know, this sort of timeless thing for him, and like the way he talked about it made me think, man, what if I could have that kind of relationship with like Tales of Symphonia? You know, this game that I adored as a kid, and maybe I can still see like what's great about it as an adult. And I started playing it, and I was just like, this is stupid. Like, it's just a dumb anime storyline full of dumb anime characters. The combat's not really that fun. Like, because, you know, I remembered it as the combat was fun because it wasn't like a turn-based
you have to
game.
get further into it when you get all the skills and techniques and stuff
that helps
for it
a
to
lot.
become fun.
But even then, like, it had a lot of like bullshit where like enemies would continuously stun you over and over again, or you have moves that never really connect, and like it had a lot of like dumb shit that was like you'd really have to be into this game to play it enough to make it fun, you know, and so I was just kind of like, man, this game's kind of dumb. But then it's like, there's other JRPGs that I can perfectly enjoy even as an adult. Like, you don't have to be a dumb kid who likes anything that's remotely anime to like JRPGs, you know? Like, because the Tales of games take place in like a fantasy world, but it's like the most nondescript nothing world. Like, there's nothing that's unique about it at all. You play like Final Fantasy VII, and it's got like the cool city that it takes place in. It's like this interesting, like, sort of steampunk techno future.
Tales of games are all the same world because they just reuse all the same shit.
It's the same fucking thing.
It's just a grassy
Final
place.
Fantasy 8 or 9 has like the steampunk world. You fucking play. You play Persona, and it's like this cool,
why can't I jump
like,
to the bottom of a thing?
Stylized version of reality. Like, oh, it's Tokyo, but it's like a cool, like, hip Tokyo. Yeah. It's like all fashionable, and the characters have great character designs and stuff. And like, you know, you look at like Valkyrie profile, and like the way that the system is just feels more interesting. And like, I was looking at these games, and I'm like,
oh, shit.
Tales of Symphonia was not the right choice to get me back into JRPGs.
Did I really just lose again?
Yes, you did. You suck ass.
I'm being a dipshit.
I don't know why the concept of this is escaping you.
It just keeps, like, my brain farts, and then, like I thought I could, like, stay on a wall, but you have to, like, keep pressing up over and over again or some shit.
No.
Man.
You're fucking up big time. I guess you're probably in the later levels at this point.
Yes. I was all like, yeah, I'm gonna be cool and haul ass back there. And then I was like, yeah, I was playing really well and I got all the way back there. And then I just ate shit again. Now I'm getting my ass kicked. Because fuck this game. And now I'm talking again. I was trying to just like let you rant and like really focus on the game for a second and be like, yeah, I'll show people that I don't suck.
The games,
nope, I suck at video games.
The games that I really want to get into for JRPGs, I want to replay Shadow Hearts Covenant, because that game had a really cool turn-based battle system where it was a wheel. Do you remember that? The game with the wheel?
Because it was confusing and I never played the game much.
It's like this little meter goes around a wheel, and like you have to press it with the right timing to get like certain bonuses on your attack and shit like that. And it's just a cool little way to make combat more exciting. It's sort of like, because you know, people always praise like the Mario RPG games for that, where like you press A at the right time to double the damage and stuff like that. Shadow Hearts is like a really extreme version of that concept, where there's like all kinds of bonuses you can add to the wheel, and like depending on what you attach to your weapon, it'll have different stuff that adds on. But the wheel just keeps it way more fun than just clicking attack and then watching your character attack. It's like you did something, you know, to assist it. And so I want to replay that. And also, it was just like an interesting, sort of weird game. Not necessarily that it had like a great story, but it had like a little bit more of an off-kilter thing.
I remember being dark looking. That's why I never wanted to play it. I was
like,
this game
just
looks dark.
It wasn't that dark, but it was a little dark. It was very goofy in weird ways. Sort of like Persona, where Persona's like simultaneously kind of gritty, but also like for 14-year-olds and like.
Yes.
But anyways. I want to play the Persona games because I never beat 3 or 4.
I didn't realize I could just walk on the top of these things.
You didn't? How did you? Like that was.
That's why I was like jumping over them every time, and I kept losing.
They had flat tops.
I didn't realize I could just like. No, I mean like you can literally like as it's turning up like this, just like walk on top of it.
Yeah.
I was like trying to be all cool and technical and like jump, like up and around. And I'm like, oh, I could just walk on. Like I thought I'd fall off. Well, like there was a time limit on how long I could be there. That's. Yeah. I was right at the end, too.
Anyways, Persona games. I had 3, and Persona 3 was for, like, a long while what I consider to be my favorite game, and I've never played more than 10 hours of it. because I bought it and like the aesthetic of it was just so amazing to me that I was like, this game's perfect. It's got the greatest aesthetic ever. Yeah, I had the soundtrack because I got the special edition of the game that came with the soundtrack.
I've never played an hour of that game and I know the soundtrack.
Yeah. And so I was like, man, this game's so fucking rad, but I never beat it. And then I bought it again because I had like I beat Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, which Persona 2 had 2 different games. I didn't beat it actually. I got to the final boss and it was impossible.
Ooh, yeah.
But I played Persona 2 Eternal Punishment and like I really enjoyed it for the first half and then I just kind of got like really sick of it.
Oh,
by the
snippy
end.
snaps.
But I was like, man, I need to play the other Persona games. So I bought Persona. I went with like birthday money or something. I had like a bunch of money to buy games, and I bought Persona 3 again. I bought Persona 3 FES,
Did you get,
which is like the expanded
yeah.
version, and I bought Persona 4 on the PS2, and I have not even played either.
I didn't even know
of them
you had
at
Persona
all.
4.
Yeah. I have both Persona 4, 2 copies of Persona 3, one's the FES version, and I have Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which I haven't played at all. I have Digital Devil Saga 2, which I played for like 5 hours.
Such a loser!
And never got farther in. And I have Raido Kuzunoha versus the Soulless Army, which I only played about 7 hours of. So I have like 6 shit, and I have for the DS, I have Soul Hackers, which I only played like 3 hours of.
I've already
So
had that too.
I have like 8 Shin
shit.
Megami Tensei games or something.
I like that this is
and
actually the multiplayer map.
I've never played more than like 10 hours at the most of any of them. Which is sad, but you know, JRPGs take time, and it's hard to set aside time for a JRPG.
I like that these levels are starting to get like darker. It feels like I'm building to something.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little spoopy.
I'm definitely enjoying the story mode now that I'm playing levels I haven't done already. Like, oh, this is cool.
But
It's
yeah,
like more challenging.
I'm very strongly considering starting with Final Fantasy VII because of the remake being announced, and you know, I want to play through. I never beat it. I got to like the end of disc 1 like 10 years ago, and never beat it. And then my copy got stolen, and I have it on Steam, but I never played past like the first level. And Give and Take just started playing it, and he's making progress, and he's loving it. So I'm like, I gotta play it too, because my good friend Jesse Wood is a very diehard Final Fantasy VII fan.
I remember playing a couple hours of being like, this is neat, and then getting stuck in a hallway and not knowing how to get out of that hallway and then giving up.
That sounds like a dumb kid thing.
I think I was playing on the emulator. It was probably broke or something, or maybe it was a PS1. But it was just like I couldn't get out of that hallway, and I remember looking up a guide. It was just a hallway. Like I don't know how the fuck I was trapped in the hallway.
That's hilarious.
And then I was like, fuck this game. Gives me a headache anyways. These fucking tornadoes.
Probably
Show you a
didn't even
tornado.
get to
Show you a tortilla.
cross-dressing cloud or anything.
Dude, I didn't get any. I didn't get to the second fucking area in the game. It was literally like at the beginning of the game.
Sounds like you need to play Final Fantasy VII, bro.
Fuck no. I'd play it when it gets remade, man. It'll have great graphics.
Did you watch Jesse's video on
Yes, I did.
You Cannot Remake?
And then he was, I like at the part of the end where he's just like, "This isn't for me. A new generation of can
Right.
play this game." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's
And maybe
that's
they'll get
the
into-
joy of remakes
Well,
is that a new generation gets to enjoy it."
He wasn't saying a new generation will, like, it wasn't just that game. He was
Yeah.
hoping that people will go back and play the original. That,
Yeah,
like, it'll get people
But either way,
interested.
you know, it'll get more people interested
Right.
in something that you love.
Yeah.
Like when people play new Pokemon, I'm like, they're getting into this new Pokemon, and then they can go back and play the old Pokemon to just appreciate Pokemon for a while. Where the fuck am I going in this level?
Not that you necessarily should, because I think Pokemon games generally get better.
they get better every time, but still, you know,
I won't
there's a
say
backlog
that.
of shit
I won't
that
say
can
they
actually-
absolutely get better every time, but there's like.
They do. Which
Do you
one
think-
didn't
do
get
you
better?
think
Oh,
X
except
and
for
Y
Diamond and Pearl.
Do you think X and Y were better than Black 2 and White 2?
Yeah.
Because I know that the Black and White games had like a lot more to do in them. didn't
Yeah, but they also weren't like bridging into a whole new fucking like mechanical field and like
How
graphical shit.
It was just new graphics. That was all it was.
Yeah, but it was also a great fucking game. Like I loved it.
I know that you know,
Like
a
just
lot
because it
of,
didn't have as much endgame shit. Like who cares about the fucking endgame shit?
a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of
obviously.
fucking assholes.
Do you think Tamashi Hiroka's an asshole?
Yes. Look, motherfucker, it's Pokemon and it was fun and it looked cool and it had cool Pokemon and it was fun.
That doesn't mean it's automatically better than the last one.
Yes, it is, because it's the same game, but they improved upon the way it looks and the way it feels.
But I don't think they improved the way it feels. Most of my biggest problems
If you
with
go
X and
back
Y,
and play Black and White, then you won't be able to do it. Like, after playing the 3DS ones, I can't go back and play the old ones because they just look like hell and they feel like hell.
Well, first of all, for the record, I've played Fire Red since then, and it's still great.
Well, that one's on GBA, it's more polished. The DS ones are kind of like...
The DS ones look weird.
Eh.
They just look weird.
Yes.
Because it's like
Black
a 2D
and White is also
sprite on a
that
3D
like
background.
whole new set of Pokemon, and then it kind of like...
I loved that set of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm
Look, I'm not in the frame of mind to analyze the differences between, like, these fucking Pokemon games. I haven't played Black and White in a while. I just enjoyed X and Y, and I enjoyed the new Ruby and Sapphire. That's probably the best one.
I mean, I'm partly playing devil's advocate here,
one?
but my point is that there's plenty of problems with X and Y that I could easily see making it worse for some people. It's not just the end game content and all that shit. Like, even though the games are graphically impressive, there was a lot of stuff about the way you move that pissed me off.
I did beat that.
Like the skates that sucked ass. Or the fact that
they were
this
trying
problem
new things.
persists in Ruby and Sapphire, that every time you hit a wall it makes a burp sound, but the dimensions of where you can walk are no longer clear, so it's really obnoxious because you run into shit constantly.
Yes.
Like, you can't tell where the walls are because they're not where the walls literally are, the way that they were in the 2D games, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and so you constantly run into shit and you're always just and it ruins the soundtrack because you no longer want to listen to the audio because all you hear is constantly. That kind of shit. That's the kind of shit that could affect it, you know? Or the fucking, well, the daycare systems always sucked ass. But, and the stupid Battle Chateau, dumb shit. Battle Chateau
That's because you
sucked.
fucking went all completionist and did everything.
Yeah, I got every Pokemon that was in the regular Pokedex in that game.
Yeah.
I think I did. I think there was like maybe one I didn't have. I don't remember. I think I got everything. Everything that was available.
My perspective is just like, how much did I enjoy going through the game and beating the 8 gym leaders in the Elite Four? That is what I enjoy about Pokemon. That is my frame of reference, my frame of mind going into judging it.
I just don't think it's automatically fair to say that each game is better than the other one.
Man, I don't fucking care. Yeah, maybe they're not. I don't know. I enjoy them more each time. There's an exponential growth and fun that I have while I play it.
Here's an interesting. You know what? Next time on Digi Bros, and then I'm gonna ask you a question at the start of the next one that I think could be.
Bro.